做一个好人是什么感受？便是觉着这世间无一不好，无一不善内心，坦坦荡荡，无所愧疚，生来欢喜，死亦无愧。
Thank you to all of you for all the hard work that you put in, right from the start when we had our nomination until that fateful night when we counted the votes and found the reality wasn't quite what we had hoped it to be. But as I've said many times before, the SDP is always looking to press forward until the day when we hit our target of bringing democracy to our shores. And this election cycle is no exception, where even though our results were not quite as what we expected, we make sure that we press on. And we press on not with words, but with deed. And what we're going to do in the next 5 years, in the lead up to elections 2030, is this campaign. And it's got to be more than a campaign. It's a movement that we call renew, rebuild, reignite. And they're not just pretty fancy words, because they're going to be backed up by major operations, major projects that I look forward to involving all of you. And I mean all of you in the most active manner. Let's go through it very quickly. This is what we're going to do. It's going to be a movement to build a more just, transparent, and democratic Singapore. And they're going to be, as I said, backed up by 3 major projects. The first is our petition, our coalition for electoral reform, which Akmal highlighted earlier on in his presentation. And then the second project is that we're going to initiate and start a cooperative under the orange and teal flagship. The third is our youth outreach. Together, collectively, these will keep us busy right up until the next elections with all the other ancillary exercises and projects that we're going to conduct. Let me just go into the first one, project number 1. I'll give you the URL towards the end of this project, where I look forward to all of you going into the petition called in change.org to make sure that we create this whole exercise movement to reform the election system in Singapore. You know that before the GE itself, we had said that Lawrence Wong was conducting a smash and grab elections. And you look at what it is today. This very unseemly haste when he announced boundaries, and very soon after that, just barely a month, dissolve Parliament and give us all of 9 days to campaign, and then we end up results like this. And this is not the first time. It's been going on for 60 years. I've been through one election after another, and it's always been the same process. Make sure that you give people limited time to really digest the national issues that confront our nation, and then push everybody to go vote before we truly have enough time to digest all the issues. So what we're going to do is to launch this election reform, and we're not going to do it as SDP. We're going to reach out to every Singaporean who are concerned about this matter. And we're going to get it especially our younger generations to be part of this entire movement and sign the petition, beg your pardon. And we're going to call for a ban on gerrymandering, amongst the others. And as I said, I'll present to you the URL, and I look forward to all of you getting on and signing it. The first is we've launched a petition calling for a reform of the election system. And it's up on change.org. Later on, I'll give you the URL. And basically, it's this whole idea, and we've mentioned this even before the general elections, saying that this was very much a smash and grab election conducted by the PAP. And this is precisely what we mean when we talk about how this whole campaign was just conducted in unseemly haste. And then it finishes very quickly, with the electorate hardly having time to come to grasp with some of the weighty issues, national concerns that affect our society. And this has been the feedback we'll be getting over and over, especially if you're talking about younger voters, not knowing about coming together to learn about the process, and by the time they're starting getting involved in the process, they hardly have any other time and then being pushed to make a decision. So that's the first initiative that we have. The second is that we're going to launch a cooperative. It's called the Orange and Teal Social Enterprise and Cooperative, OTSEC. And the long and short of it is that Singapore has been dominated by this PAP-NTUC nexus. It's just come through very clearly in this elections with the involvement of Mr. Ng Chee Meng. And this is shown to be very unhealthy for our economy, where everything is top down. So the OTSEC is meant to be a very much ground up, where we're looking for Singaporeans to own a part of this business, profit sharing, and to encourage young entrepreneurs coming up, freelancers, provide incubator services. We're going to continue, we're going to launch this evening. And as we move along, we'll get our members to be able to shape the business model, the precise businesses that we're going to get into. Again, I'll give you the URL, and then you can dive more into some of the information that we have in there. The third major initiative that we are going to be getting into is, I mentioned at the outset, that we've seen this upsurge of younger Singaporeans coming forward. And this is why we have beside us today Shawal Yeo and Arifin Shah, whom you're familiar with, to embark on this newfound enthusiasm among the younger voters. We're going to tap into it. Yesterday we had a very enthusiastic crowd. We organizing the Young Democrats, our youth wing, as you know. And many of them have expressed a lot of interest, and from what they've shared with us. Again, this whole idea that they've just come up and learn the entire political process, and then finding things very unsatisfactory, and hence they want to be part of this whole movement forward. I'm going to, in this petition, we're looking to our youth wing to spearhead, making sure that this campaign takes root and then begins to expand and to let Singaporeans know that this is a very important subject area that we're going to get into. I'm going to just let Shawal and Arifin to address you right now, and then talk about not just this petition, but things that they have in mind. But this is a very important arm of our renew, rebuild, reignite campaign.